Yep, let everyone know they're being recorded. I did. And we'll get started as soon as we get a few more people on.
I'll text the Omaha group chat and let them know to get on.
Okay. And we do seem to be missing those, don't we, Shelby?
Huh?
Missing quite a few, I think. Jasmine, is that a kitty cat in your picture? Small.
Aw.
Yeah, she's my cat. She passed away a year ago.
Sorry.
So
She was a
sorry.
cutie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoops. Tracy, do you have the staff emails, the product program managers you could put in the chat? Do you have access to that,
Oh.
Andy?
I can get it.
Kind of like we do.
I was
at
gonna
our
say, I
normal
can get it.
trainings.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I
Whoever
can do it
get
real
first.
quick.
Thanks,
You got
Kyla.
it there, Kyla? All righty.
Yeah, I can get it.
Awesome. And I think Nicole told me she might not be on this training or might be late. It's been a while, so I don't quite recall, but let's see. We're missing some peeps. Missing part of my team.
And who we missing from? Oh, we're missing Sam from the Omaha area.
Like we're missing Katie also. Well, we'll wait till 101 and see if that brings us some more attendees. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to share my screen. Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Thank you. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go through the slides. It would work best if everyone can either type questions into the chat or raise your hand, but we'll go through the training and then we'll go through questions. So just write down your questions if you start getting some early on, and then we'll go through them at the end. Kyla, do you want to help me with the chat when the time comes?
Yep.
Perfect. All righty. So we went ahead and put the product program managers information. Does everyone on this call know who your product program manager is for your area? If you do not, put it in the chat so we can make sure you know who your staff member is. So we're going to talk about the overview of cookies, materials that we use, the reward system, how to do cookie sales, ordering, and distribution, financial management, and then the platforms we use are Digital Cookie and Smart Cookies. So just so this team is aware, Digital Cookie is the new platform for all of the online direct shipped cookies. And girls have access to that in the digital cookies. Girls and parents pretty much spend their time in that platform. You guys as cookie managers will be mostly in Smart Cookies. So our team, as you know, the product program staff is the gals I mentioned in the chat already. So we're here to support all of our staff that help with cookies, and of course, all the volunteers. So if you have any questions, start with your product program manager. And if they can't answer it, I'm sure it'll be escalated to myself. And if I can't answer it, then we'll go to our other resources. So your product program manager is always your starting point. So everyone mostly knows that. Has anyone on this call not ever been through a cookie season, even if you weren't a staff? Does everyone kind of understand how the cookie program flows? If you don't, can you put that in the chat? Because we want to know, if we need to spend a little extra time with some of you. But the girls, the whole purpose of the program is so that girls can learn how to do goal setting, decision making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. And of course, we know it also helps them to build courage, confidence, and character. So these are our varieties this year. We do not have a new cookie this year. If anybody does need nutritional information, it is on the ABC website. So this just kind of shows you how many cookies come in each package and how they are packaged. So the pricing is still $5. That was the same as last year. It is okay if customers ask or your parents ask. The price is going up next year to $6, but the message we want to make sure we're giving our parents and customers is, we're one of the few councils that have stayed at $5, so it's a good year to stock up on cookies. And the standard troops earn 70 cents per package. Materials and forms. There are additional materials found on our website. So I would recommend that each of you print this handbook from our website. And Tracy or Kyla or any of my team, if you could actually send a link in the chat that people could click on some of these materials, that would be a little bit helpful for them to not have to go and search for it on the website. So hopefully some of you have already had your parent meeting. If not, there's still time, but each Girl Scout is going to need some materials before the 9th of February. So that's when the in-person sales start for your girls. And since we've decided outreach is focusing more on in-person orders and girls that want to do online, we can set them up before the 9th. Just work with your product program manager if you do have girls that are going to sell online. Because I don't think there's going to be a ton, but there will be some. So on the order card, general information is on there, tells you the price, the varieties, and you're going to have your girls simply put orders on there for each cookie customer that they have, just like the old school way of doing it. You're also going to have these parent permission receipts. So all of this stuff, the cookie order cards, the parent permission receipt, and the receipt book, you will get from your product program manager if you have not already. If anyone needs to know how to get resources, I'm sure like Kyla is going to have to mail if you haven't already. So we'll need to know some some quantities of how many girls you have in each troop type of thing. So this parent permission becomes very vital for you to keep you organized and for financial payments so that we can collect all the money from each parent. So you're going to make sure you want to keep these in a safe place. I would suggest, I know when Kyla did it, it was in a binder by girl, by school. So however you want to do it to get organized, but these parent permission receipts are going to be very vital throughout the program. So you're going to be able to record each order each week on what they have sold. And then it also tracks all the financial payments at the bottom of it. The receipt book is basically used as a second form of receipt so that your parent at any time money, whoopsie, sorry, I clicked on it and it made me go. Anytime money or cookies are exchanged, a receipt a receipt should also be exchanged at that time. And there should also be 2 signatures, the parent and yourself as the cookie manager, so that there's no mistake later of someone saying they paid you. If they don't have a receipt, it didn't happen. So it's very vital to use these resources as they are intended for. So the rewards this year were revamped. So girls, all girls earn prizes based on how many packages they sell, and they are cumulative. So what that means is every level they get a prize. They do go up all the way to 2,500. That doesn't mean girls have to stop selling at 2,500. They can sell as many as they want. Girls can circle the choices on the reward insert, and then they will be submitting that sheet to you by March 18th. So make sure you let your parents know at your meeting that you will need to get the reward sheets back from each of them. And then what is going to happen next is packages of cookies will be transferred from your troop number to the girl. And we can go into that here in a little bit and kind of show you what that looks like in Smart Cookies. So you can decide if you want to do transfers weekly or if you want to wait till the end. But that's, again, why that parent permission form is going to be vital to keeping yourself organized, because you're taking the data from the parent permission form, and that's how you know what to order for each girl. So when we get to the point where it's time to enter the rewards for the girls, all the transfers need to be done prior to creating a rewards order, because that tells the system what level the girl earned a prize towards. And it'll generate, if someone sells 320 packages, it'll let them choose a prize for each of those levels up to that level. So all the transfers need to be done prior to that. There will be periodic emails from the council, so parents and girls should watch for those. It could be general information, or if something comes up, or different things happen every year. So that anybody that's in the system will get those emails. And then cookie dough information for girls that choose that as a prize will be emailed directly to the parents after the sale is over. We do not have physical cookie dough cards like we did quite a few years ago, but it's all done through like an e-card through email. The bonus reward this year, so these are extra axolotl prizes. Any girl that sells 210 plus or more packages will receive an entry into the drawing. Any girl that also sells 15 plus packages of direct ship, so that's the girls that are going to be setting up to register for online sales, will receive a second entry. And there's actually going to be 4 sets of extra bonus axolotls awarded at the end. And it would be super awesome if someone from Outreach won. I don't think we've ever had a girl win on these jumbo bonus prizes, so that'd be really cool. The girls will also get patches as they sell cookies throughout the program. Most of our patches are going to be ordered automatically through Smart Cookies if they reach that level, except some like the cookie booth patch will still need to be manually ordered. This first one here is a family patch. So those of you that have kiddos in the same household, if they sell 300 or more packages, each girl will earn a family patch. And this actually requires a separate form because we don't want 2 troops. If the girls are not in the same troop, what's happened in the past is sometimes both troops will order and then we've paid for extra patches we don't need. So there is an order form. If that relates to any of your girls, this form is on our website. New this year, we did move the goal getter patch to a 310 level, and this one will now automatically be earned for them. So any girl that sells 310 packages will get that additional goal getter patch. The Cookie Techie patch is for girls that sell 12 or more packages of the online direct shipped cookies. So order all patches by March 22nd. We're going to show you how to do all this here shortly. So how do Girl Scouts sell cookies? Well, we've talked about this. We're going to do the door-to-door. Here's the dates, the 9th through the 17th. Also, Girl Deliver is when your girl is set up online to sell cookies, and the customer can actually choose to have the girl deliver the cookies if they're local, so that they don't have to pay shipping. So that's what Girl Delivery is. You want to make sure you give your parents the order cards and the money envelopes, prior to January 9th. That's when they can start. You don't want to hand them out too early. If possible, I realize when you're in schools, you only meet every other week. So, it might be one of those things. But as you all probably know, girls tend to, if they have this order card in hand, they're going to want to start selling right away. So as long as you can hold off on that, the better. But just make sure your parents understand, like put a big red sticker or something on your packet and say, girls don't sell before the 9th, because we don't want, just because we give them the paperwork ahead of time doesn't mean they can start selling. So we understand with outreach, it's not always, you can't always hand them out on the 9th, but do your best to get them out as close to that date as possible. So the direct ship does start 2 weeks prior. So that's the 26th. Again, if you're going to have girls selling online, that's super awesome. Just work with your product program manager to help get them registered. So how's this all going to work? There's a week you can do 1 order per week per troop. So when you get your girls' order cards, you're going to combine them and put in 1 order. This stuff we already talked about. We don't take orders before the 9th. You guys will enter your first planned order February 11th for the sales that they've collected from the 9th through the 11th. So basically just from that weekend, you're going to put the order in on Sundays. Orders are always entered on Sundays. So if you don't want to do it on Sunday, I would suggest you tell your parents, to get you their order by the end of the week on Fridays. You can set that as an expectation. The more clear boundaries and expectations that you give your parents ahead of time, the more successful and organized and the least amount of stress you're going to be. So just set your boundaries ahead of time. Make sure they understand the deadline is such and such. The bad part of getting orders on Friday is the girls are, out and about over the weekend. So you're going to get messages like, oh, can you add 2 packages of mints? And that becomes a nightmare for any troop manager to try to manage. Oops. So just make sure that, where is I going? Just make sure that you're giving your parents the deadline on when you want their order by. And when they start going, hey, can I add this? You're just going to have to say, please add that to the following week, because you've already put in your order. Because I'm just trying to help you guys, make this as simple as possible. And then each week, you're going to do the same thing. Place a planned order. Like I said, the due date is Sunday, but you'll decide if you want to put it in prior to that. Sunday seems to work the best, like I said, because the girls are out selling throughout the weekend. So the second step is how you're going to get your cookies that you ordered for your troop. You're going to schedule a pickup date and time with the cupboard. So sorry, I keep clicking on stuff like I'm in a live presentation or something. When you are putting your order in Smart Cookies, it will ask you for a cupboard time. That's the last thing I believe it asks you, what date and time. However, this is important. That time doesn't that doesn't tell us you're coming. So you need to still work with your product program manager to ensure that the cookies are available, they're sorted, and they're ready for them. So even though you schedule a time in Smart Cookies, you still need to coordinate that with your product program manager because we don't see those times and dates necessarily when we are doing our sorting of orders. So then you're going to plan and pick up the cookie order. Bring an appropriate sized vehicle. There is a car chart that tells you how many cases will fit in each vehicle. I'm thinking, actually, could one of my team put that car chart in the chat, please? You know, it's hard to anticipate. We don't know, but there may be times that if you need help with transporting cookies, we can try to help you, but there may be times if you have over 50 cases, which like I said, I don't anticipate that happening, but we'll work together and figure out, you are going to have to clean out your vehicles and have them ready to move cookies, but there may be times that you need a bigger vehicle, so we can do that as a one-off and try to help you figure something out there. So then once you have the cookies, you're going to count and verify the order before they're loaded. So once you take them from the cupboard, it's kind of, we want to make sure it's correct. So both of you are counting. They must be picked up at the same time. That kind of goes against what I just said if you have a smaller vehicle, but this is mainly for troops. With staff, we're going to have a little bit of leeway on that. So again, we're going to sign the planned order receipt for all cookies received. So that is, we're exchanging cookies, so we need a receipt. Before the Girl Scouts pick up from each of you, this is where your permission slip comes in. So you're going to sort it, and then you're going to schedule times. I don't know if that looks like what we've talked about prior, picking up at, like for Omaha, that, I don't know, we still are in the works of getting that delivery site or distribution area for outreach, whether it's storage or what have you. I think we need to get an update on that. But then you are going to fill out the first line by variety. So Adventurefuls, if they got 2 packages, these are all in packages on here. Okay. So you're going in this purple square, it says TCM signature. It might be hard to see on your end, but the top line, so TCM is Troop Cookie Manager, that's you. So you are a TCM now, you got a new title. And then the bottom one is your parent and guardian signature. So it's very imperative that you get both of these signatures, and then you're going to have your quantities filled out, the total packages that you're giving them. This column in the white between the 2 gray is gift of sharing. So if your girls get donations for gift of sharing, that quantity goes there. And then you put the total amount due in this column here, this second to last gray column. So if they ordered 4 packages, 4 times 5, that would say $20. And then this last little thing, can't hardly even see that myself. Date Smart Cookies entry. Oh, okay. So this, if you're going to do transfers weekly, this is what I did when I managed my IGMs, which are individual girls. So I would enter my orders weekly, and then I would check mark this so that I know I already put it in Smart Cookies and transferred to that girl. And like I said, I'm going to show you a transfer here when we get through the PowerPoint. And then you're going to obviously give them the cookies. So again, you're going to count the order with them. They're going to sign, and if they come back and say, oh, I only got 23 packages, not 24, well, they signed for 24. So that it's imperative that you guys count with them and they sign and you both agree. At the pickup, now this says give the parent pink copy, but we don't want to do that until the very end. This is for people that had an initial order. So actually, you won't give them the pink copy until the sale is over. Am I missing anything from my team? Is there a reason why, since they're not doing an initial order, they would get a pink copy? Tracy?
The pink copy is generally for the first order that they pick up, so they have that, that acts as their receipt rather than a receipt book page. It doesn't matter, I don't think, if we use the pink copy or not.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I
there's
don't
3
think so.
copies. I'm sorry, what, Kyla?
I said, yeah, I agree. I don't think there's a reason.
Okay, so
If
there is
they
3
ask-
copies.
Misty, if they ask for a copy, what we do in Lincoln is we just make a copy of it. Because sometimes they do want copies, and once we give the pink one out, there's no other to give, so we just make a copy of it.
Yeah, so if they want the pink copy in the first order, it's fine, because they will get a copy at the end. There's 3 parts to that form. There's a yellow copy that they would receive at the end as well. So you can give them the pink copy, but you also can give them a receipt from the book. All right, so then that's when you'll decide if you're going to do weekly transfers. Like I said, I always did it right after they picked up, if possible, so that you can just stay on top of it and keep yourself organized. Do we want to stop and answer questions, team, or do we want to keep going? I know I said we'd wait till the end, but
Misty, can you go back to the rewards slide real quick?
sure. Whoop, hang on. This one or
No, one more.
this one?
That one.
Oh,
I just wanted
okay.
to clarify, when you were talking about the bonus reward, you actually said 210 packages. It's 310 packages to get an entry into the drawing. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clarified. And then,
Sorry about that.
no, that's okay. I'm sure you didn't even realize you said it that way. So, and then the other thing I wanted to clarify too is the word direct shipped. That was what we called it when we were using smart cookies. Now that we're using digital cookie, it's actually going to say ship only. So if you see those words ship only, it's the same concept. It's just cookies that are directly shipped to the customer, but we use ship only now instead of direct ship. So I just wanted to clarify those 2 things.
Perfect. Thanks, Vicky. Yeah, those things do matter because, you know, the wording, if you want to make sure you understand what the wording means. All right. There is a hand up. Who's?
Yeah, it's me. From Brianna from Omaha. Like I want to know, like, is there, so like we go by sessions, and every session we get a new group of girls. The 9th is actually the last day of the 3rd session. So is it okay if we start later? Because I don't even know what my next girl session is going to be like. Like, I don't know
Oh,
the girls' names or
yeah.
parents' names.
I mean, are you talking about start like giving them the paperwork later? Because you won't see them by the 9th?
Well, I don't even know what families I'm going to have after February 9th. Like, so like, I don't even know the parents.
Okay.
So, like,
Yeah, I mean,
is that going to be a problem, or like, I know we need to do a parent meeting, but like, I won't even know who the parents are till I get assigned those girls, and I won't get assigned until the Monday after the 9th.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you might have a girl say, well, I thought the sales, you know, if she heard it from a friend or something, but girls can really start and stop selling anytime they want throughout the 9th through March 17th. So if they
Okay.
can't, like, yeah, that's a good question. If you can't see them and you don't even know who they are yet, then yes, you can start anytime. Obviously, the sooner the
Thank
better.
God.
'Cause,
Okay.
yeah, it'll give them more time to sell, but yeah, absolutely. You can't make miracles work if you don't see them by then.
And then my next
So,
question is, I have a site that is like 99% Hispanic families, and I don't have an interpreter. Both of my interpreters are in Mexico right now. Do we have an interpreter that would be available for like
Vanessa,
family meeting, the parent meeting?
we've been asking Brianna. I don't know anyone personally, so no, we don't have anything set up.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that question keeps coming up over and over, and I wish I could, I mean, I feel like we need an interpreter for our council, but that's
If anything,
just
I can
my,
just do a booth because a booth I don't need an interpreter for, but like for individual sales, I'll definitely need an interpreter for that. Is that is that an
just-
option or no?
yes.
Okay.
But we, you know, if you need an interpreter, like if Nicole knows someone, or I can try to help Nicole as well, but I personally don't know anyone today to, you know, direct you to. Okay. Okay, so this is just talking about, you know, your orders each week. That's called the planned order. So like I said, you're gonna put those in each week and you can only do one order per week. So once you submit your order and then you hear from two other girls, we'd have to go back and edit the order. I mean, there is a way to do it, but you can't, if you go in as a cookie manager and try to place a second order for the same week, it'll actually order it on the following week. And you may not notice that because the system will only allow one order per week. So if the situation comes up where you need to add to your weekly planned order and it's not, hang on. Charlie, stop. And it's not, you know, one or two packages, but and let's say you needed to add 5 cases or something, you would want to work with your product program manager because they would be able to edit it for you. But hopefully that doesn't, you know, we don't want to have that as a every week thing. So just make sure when you're putting in your planned orders, you're ready, you have everything organized, and you're going to put in the one order. And so from that point, every time you guys order, it's always by package since you're not doing the initial order. So it's, you know, always by package. You're only going to order cookies that have actually been sold. So this goes back to basic order taking. You don't want to order extras unless you're going to do a booth. That's a different story. And you'll need to work with your product program manager if you're going to do a booth because outreach is a little different. But we can order cookies for the booth. But like I said, that's not, we don't want them, we want them to try to not do only booths, but we understand sometimes that's going to be the case. All right, so the order needs to be placed, and I know there's more hands up, but we'll get back to you guys, okay? We're not ignoring you. Mountain Standard Time is our deadline, so 11:30 p.m. If you try to order at 11:31 Mountain Standard Time, it's going to put it on the following week, and we won't even see that order until next Monday when we go to pull the report. So please make sure if you're going to wait till Sunday, you get it in before 11:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Your cupboard manager is your staff person that runs the cupboard, your product program manager, or sometimes it's another staff member, depending on the location. So again, like I mentioned earlier, just because you put the time in Smart Cookies, you still must contact the manager so we are in good communication and we know when to expect you, because just because you put the order in, you know, throughout the week, what happens on our team from Monday till whatever distribution day is, we're trying to make sure every cupboard has the right amount of cookies. So we don't always have the you know, if the cupboard may not be open on Tuesday, if you put your order in on Sunday, it'll vary by area. So then your cupboard manager will notify you when they're available for pickup. So again, back to this parent permission payment receipt. You're going to keep filling out the top part. You're going to sign. Every order, you know, just keep going down the line. There's room for, what is it, 5 weeks on the parent permission sheet. If you need more, if you have, a lot of times we have girls that sell a ton of cookies and they need more than one sheet. That's okay. We can give you as many as you need. So don't be afraid if you run out of weeks to get another sheet. And then you're going to record the transfers, like I mentioned, either weekly or at the end. Down here on this payment due, This is where you're gonna fill in. So this is still the same parent permission form. The amount due that you had above, you're gonna fill in down here. And they're gonna pay you, let's say they owe $100. If they pay you $90, you're gonna put a balance of $10 due. You're gonna put the date, received by, and received from. So received by, and I think I confuse this from time to time. Received by is your signature as the TCM. Received from is the parent. Am I saying that right, team? I don't know that it really matters as long as you're both signing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. As long as there's two signatures down there.
It kind
Do
of
we wanna-
depends on how.
Missy,
Go
do we
ahead.
want to note on this that the parent needs to pay the amount for any cookies received before they get additional cookies? So there may not be
Yeah.
a balance.
Right. So I was gonna, yeah, I was just using that as an example, but
Okay, sorry.
if you're, no worries. If your parent owes 100, and let's say they only pay 90 because they haven't got in touch with the two other customers, that happens. You're only gonna give them cookies for what they paid. So, I don't know how many that equals, but you're gonna give them the exact amount for what they paid. If they owe you $10, then that's 2 boxes they don't get. So we need to make sure that we're not giving them extra cookies. And I think once you do it the first week, typically people will have all of the money, but sometimes maybe they won't. So just make sure that you are only giving them the cookies that have been paid for. So I mentioned the new digital cookie platform. So that's what the girls will use. They can also set goals in there and they can monitor their progress. Parents and guardians, if the girls are going to set up to do online, they'll receive an email. Again, I want you guys to just work with your product program manager because I don't think we're going to have a ton of girls do this, but maybe I'm wrong and maybe we will. I hope I'm wrong. But in the direct ship or ship only, as Vicky mentioned, the customers place the order and they pay online. The cookies are shipped directly to them. The girls really, this is an awesome way for girls to sell more cookies because they don't have to do any in person, but the customer is paying for shipping that way. We do have a shipping promotion going on through the sale. So any customer that orders 9 packages or more get a $5 discount on the shipping cost. And it's $12.99 for that many packages. The other way girls can use digital cookie is the girl delivery, where they pay online and they choose girl delivery, and that's where the girl would actually physically deliver the cookies to the customer. They can pay cash or credit card with that option, and the parent would notify you guys of the order to include in the next planned order. So there will be a little bit more communication required with this because you'll, when the customer chooses girl delivery, you still need to order those cookies as the outreach cookie troop manager, because just treat it like an in-person door-to-door sale, but it's already possibly been paid for with a credit card. So if you have that situation, I don't want to spend a ton of time on it. But if you have that situation, you know, I would suggest that you work with your product program manager. And we already talked about the promo there. That's where it's at. So our cupboards are where we keep cookies. They're open the first day of the sale through March 9th or March 20th, because we need a few days after the sale ends to ensure everybody has all the cookies they need. Again, you're going to pick up the cookie order, sign all paperwork. You don't have to use the same cupboard manager for all orders, but I would suspect in this situation, you guys will. I can't really think of anything of why you would use, even between Lincoln and Omaha. If you have to use a cupboard, maybe they don't have the cookies you need. That'll kind of be a one-off where we need to work out those details between the product program managers. But again, we're going to need an appointment. for pickup times. Here's the staff. Well, some of these are volunteer ran cupboard. So here's where you're going to get your cookies from. Omaha is going to get them from Leah Hubbard, Scotts Bluff from Samantha, North Platte from Shindell, Grand Island from Kyla, Lincoln from Melissa and Denny.
Misty at Columbus, I will get them from the Columbus Service Center from me.
Oh yeah, that didn't get put on there. I'm sorry. I didn't notice that. Thank you. Financial management. So these are some good practices to remember. Collecting payment is part of the cookie program process. Follow the procedures, keep good records to make it run smoothly. If you start getting confused and it's very easy to happen, but if you keep good records, you're going to be fine. Just communicate to your parents the due dates clearly. Have parents write the dates on their cookie order card. Payment is required before distributing any cookies. We do prefer cash. In fact, I would just tell everyone cash only, unless they're doing some online sales as a payment. We can do credit card for the girl deliver as well, but again, that's more of a one-off. So I don't need, whoopsie, here I go again, hitting my buttons. This says if a family accepts a check, I would just rather us not take checks, but if it's, you know, if they have cash and they already put it in their bank, we will take a check. We don't like checks, but if that's the only option of getting paid, we will take a check. If they do pay with check, we need a driver's license number from their ID written on the check. So the parent, I would assume the parent is not taking checks from their customers. That's only if they are paying you because they already deposited the money into their own account or something like that. So like it says there, Girl Scouts should only accept checks from close friends and family, not from individual customers. So when the parents are picking up the cookies, you're going to count again. I know some of this is repetitive. Count before taking possession, pay for the product being received, count the money together. That's very important. You know, if you just take money from someone and assume it's all right, even if it's only short a couple dollars and you signed that you received 100 and you only have 98, well, you need to count it with them. That's very important. And then you're going to complete the bottom portion again on the balance due for them on the permission form and of course sign. Again, if we're exchanging cash, if we're exchanging cookies, you're going to fill out a receipt in the book and you're going to give them a copy and you're going to keep a copy in the book. It doesn't really matter if you give them the yellow or white, but just be consistent is what I would say. If you start the book and you start giving them the white, you know, try to keep your copies all yellow. And deposit cookie money with finance as soon as possible. So I believe we've worked in everyone should have a bank account that they can, or a process. I believe we've worked through all the areas with finance to make sure we have a place for you guys to deposit your cash. If that is not finalized, then let me know, because we need to get back with Alyssa and make sure that it's, I believe all the areas are taken care of this time though. All right, so this shows you some training options that we have. If you want to know everything there is to know about smart cookies, guess what? You can do that. You can go in here and I'll show you here in a little bit, but under resources and training, there's all sorts of YouTube videos. If you forget everything I told you today, there's a way that tells you how to do a cookie transfer, how to put in a planned order. So all these resources are here in Smart Cookies for you to use. Again, the digital cookie platform is what we use for girls and parents to do online orders. We do have this reference guide, and if someone wants to put that in the chat, I would appreciate it. It's very detailed, this reference guide, but it has instructions on various tasks. So if you want something visual to look at as you go through each step, this is a good reference guide to follow. So it has how to set up an account, how to manage your troop, how to set goals, to navigate the dashboard, to do your planned orders, transfer orders, to create a reward order, any financial transactions and reports. So everything is in Smart Cookies, but this guide, like I said, will give you a very detailed instruction on these various tasks. For digital cookie, again, these are girls selling online and girl delivery. There are tip sheets on the website, and these, sorry, that sentence isn't correct, but these can be used for all aspects of digital cookie that can be reviewed at any time. All right, so that's a high level basic process. So before I open Smart Cookies, am I still recording the questions, team?
I would.
I would.
Okay,
Yeah, there's only a couple questions, so
okay,
far
we'll
anyway.
keep recording. We'll keep recording. Go ahead and Kyla, call out the questions.
So Shelby just wants to know if we can send cupboard info in an email so they can have it. Yeah, we can't, or is that information will be on our website? We just haven't updated it yet, but once we do, we'll just send it out. Is there a mobile app for digital cookie? Yes. It is. I will post that here in the chat here in just a second. And then Gracie wants to know, can you send the PowerPoint for us to reference back to? And I'm sure Misty can send it out.
Yeah, I can do that.
But I think that is, yep, that's all the questions so far. Or do we want,
Shelby has her
do we
hand
want
up.
to answer? Yeah, I was just gonna say, or do we want to answer? Okay, go ahead, Shelby.
Sorry, I have like a long, not a long list, but just a list. So outreach will be able to, the girls will be able to get the prizes this year for selling, like
To look at
traditional
'em?
girls.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure, because I don't want to tell them and like be like, if you sell this much, blah blah blah, and then we don't like do that. It's not fair to the kids, you know what I mean? I don't want to say something that's wrong and give them the wrong information and make the kids all excited and then it not be that. I remember Nicole telling us that she doesn't want us to have checks because it's very risky. Because it's just, we don't know if it's gonna like bounce. We don't know if the money's gonna actually be there. So I think Nicole was telling us cash only because it's just
Yeah,
safer.
and like I said on the checks, that's the check option is if that's the only way the parent, can pay you. It's a last resort. So yes, follow Nicole's guidance and do cash. But what happens sometimes, like with the individual girls, which could happen, is the parent will put all the cash in their account and then write you a check. We do have a collection process. If a check is returned. So we would be working, if a check is returned, as soon as we know that from finance, we would need to work with you and the parent directly with the product program manager. But yeah, as a general rule, cash only. But if, like I said, there's always the one-off where the person's already done something and they give you a check. But if we find out, that parent's check didn't clear, then that would become a collection and we wouldn't give them any more cookies at that point. So if that happens and you do receive a check, again, we'll be working with that as a one-off, but good
Yeah.
call out.
And then I was thinking money order would be like the only safest form of check because the money's already there.
Yep.
For money order, the money's already there. So, and then I was concerned, I don't know if this happened in the past, and I'm not trying to assume anything about anybody's character, but I was worried, what do we do if someone contacts us and they're like, this child's parent took money from us and we never received cookies? do we just, do product program handle that? Do we handle it as a team? What's the
Yeah.
process for that?
That
Not
does
saying that's
happen.
gonna happen, just so I
Yeah.
know.
Well, it will. I mean, hopefully it won't with outreach, but it has happened before. I would work with your, if it's a one person and they need one box of cookies, your product program manager will help you with that. So if that happens, just please work with them to get, we
Okay.
want to always take care of the customer, but, you know, we're gonna,
And,
go ahead, Melissa.
and in my 8 years of doing this, I've only had maybe 5 total with traditional troops and with outreach troops total that said I ordered cookies and I never got them. So it's not something that happens regularly or very often. So we'll just take care of the customer.
Okay, and then with our parent meetings, I know that a lot of us in Omaha are still giving out those wristbands, and a lot of those girls, we don't know if they're gonna sell until probably, I'm gonna do a cutoff, send a letter out for if if your kid wants to sell cookies, please let me know by end of like in 2 weeks or something like that, just so I have it a cutoff date. And then for the parent meeting, how have those been ran in the past? Because I am very unsure of how to run one of those.
I will let Kyla or Gracie take the lead. Kyla, if you want to start, Gracie, if you think of anything to add on, feel free.
Yep. So when I did the parent meetings, I just invited everybody. Oh, she'll be, Gracie's putting together a presentation and packet, but so what I did is I just invited everybody to come out here to camp, and I basically just did the kind of the similar thing to what Misty shared. I gave them the information on like when they're going to place their orders, where they're going to pick up cookies, how the sale's going to look. I let them try the cookie. I showed the girls the prize selection so that they could get excited about the prizes. So, and then I also, during COVID, I also did Zooms. Like I did a Zoom parent meeting as well. At the same time, I was doing the in-person training. So, you don't have to put like, don't spend hours on like a presentation or um, it should only last like 30 minutes. Just give them the basic information, just tell them what it's going to look like when they pick up cookies. That you'll count the money, you'll count the cookies. It'll be, I would also, so in Grand Island, when I did it, I had a set time for people to come pick up cookies. I would say that I'm going to be here at the office from 4 to 6, and this is the only time you can come pick up cookies. And that just told them that that is the only time. And I will tell you to be very, very firm with the parents and don't let them walk all over you. Just tell them that this is how it's going to be, and just be firm with them. And I had no problems in the 3 years that I did it. I just put my expectations out there to begin with and told them this is how it's going to be. So, and that's, like I said, I never had any issues, but yeah.
Okay, and then Gracie said she could share her stuff with you as well. So if you just send that to your whole team, that would be awesome.
And then the site and the packets for the girls, should we be giving those out at site like before, or should we be giving them out at parent meetings? My concern is if we do a virtual one about getting the like stuff to the girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, virtual one, you would almost have to mail it to them directly, but once you get your parent form back that they're interested in cookies, then I I mean, you want to try to hand them the materials close to the 9th as possible, but like I mentioned earlier, I understand that's not always possible because you only see them sometimes once a month or every other week or what have you. So just try to, the problem with giving them too early is, you know, like I said, you might have those girls or the parents tempted to start selling, but that would just be a conversation between you and the parent and a reminder saying, hey, you know, we can't sell till the 9th, even though, you know, because you will have parents not pay attention, and it's not that they probably do it to break the rules, but we always find out when someone's selling early. Someone will tell us. So
Yep.
that's why we want to try to give them the paperwork closest to the 9th so it doesn't tempt them or their parent to start selling, even though parents don't sell cookies.
No, never.
Any other questions, Shelby, or anyone else? Okay, I wanted to show you quickly. Let me,
Hey, Misty, can I interrupt for just a second? Do you want to
of
talk about
course.
the gluten-free cookies real quick? We need to mention that they are not on the order card, but there will be gluten-free cookies available on a limited basis. If you know, if you pre-ordered them, you can sell them, but they will not be shown on the order card, so the customers won't necessarily know unless the girl says something about them.
Yeah, good call out. Thanks, Vicky. So if you have a parent that says, oh, my customer wants a gluten-free, how come they're not on the order card? Well, we, like Vicky said, we do have a limited supply. We don't put them on the order card because we have a limited supply. So we will have some, and we'll just distribute them on a first come, first serve basis. I know we did order some specifically for outreach for each area. So we will have some quantities, but that you're not going to have your girls offer it. It's going to be more of a if they ask. Because some people will be, do you have a gluten-free? Yes, but just work with your product program manager when you need a gluten-free cookie. Okay. Grace, what did you say? I will give them out at sites, but I also email it to parents. What are you referring to on that? Oh, the parent packets. Okay. Perfect. All right. I will go ahead and stop the presentation or the recording, I mean. And then I want to show you just a couple things in Smart Cookies.